much for tuning in. Well, believe it or not, the United States is broke. U.S. Senator Tommy Turberville just said the quiet part out loud in a video that I'm about to play for you. He clearly admits that Social Security and government spending, and I quote here, "It is all a scam." Those are his words. Of course, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that the U.S. is breaking all previous records in a bad sense of the word, with the national debt now being above $34 trillion and consumer credit card debt hitting a new record high of $1.1 trillion, it is safe to say that the United States as a country and its population are in a debt trap. $34 trillion consists of $27 trillion in debt held by the public, in other words, by you, and $7 trillion in intergovernmental debt. By the way, $34 trillion is roughly the value of the economies of China, Germany, Japan, India, and the UK combined. In fact, the government has been so reckless with its spending that the United States debt is now rising by $1 trillion. Just think about that, $1 trillion about every 100 days. Think about that, $1 trillion every 3 months, roughly. It is no wonder that the interest payments on national debt have already surpassed U.S. defense spending and soon will exceed every single government program. Additionally, I want to remind you that Moody's Investor Services lowered its ratings outlook on the U.S. government to negative from stable in November due to the rising risks of the country's fiscal strength. The agency said, in the context of higher interest rates, without effective fiscal policy measures, so technically they say U.S. fiscal policy is not effective, without effective fiscal policy measures to reduce government spending or increase revenues. The agency added that it expects the U.S. fiscal deficits will remain very large, significantly weakening debt affordability. U.S. Senator Tommy Turberville says it as it is. He says the United States is broke with $34 trillion in debt. Turberville said, quote, "We don't have any money. We are dead broke." Those are his words. This is very refreshing to hear, especially after Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen came out a couple of months ago and said the United States was doing so well economically that it is in a position to continue funding 2 wars, maybe 3 if you add Taiwan. I uploaded a video on that several months ago. I think this speech is something that you must hear. The speech by Tommy Turberville is something that you absolutely must hear and even share with your friends and family. Many people don't realize what's really coming. They hear that the United States has $34 trillion in national debt, and they just brush it off because they think it has absolutely nothing to do with them. But it does. It doesn't just affect us. Right now, it affects future generations here in the United States, whose quality of life will gradually decline precisely for this reason. So here's U.S. Senator Tommy Turberville. Watch.
This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're $35 trillion in debt. We don't have any money. We're dead broke. And then taxpayers have $2 trillion in credit card debt. We are in huge trouble. In this body, we had better start figuring that out because we're going to have a run on this city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, "Where's our damn money that we paid in?" I could have put my Social Security money 40 years in tax in the market and probably worth 8 to 10 million today. But the federal government wasted it. So I'll get off my high horse there. But it's good that we have this because we got, I get a pension check from education. I was part of a union. It's not going to help people. People are going to have to continue to work longer and longer. Am I right, Ms. Gender? Can you say something about Social Security and it being taxed for some reason? We're taxing people for the second time on Social Security that they put into an account.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out when Social Security was first founded, those who established it, it was started out as a 2% tax, and they said this will never take more than 6% of your income. Today it takes 12.4%, and depending on whether you go with CBO or Social Security trustees, it needs to take between 15.8 and 17.5%. So we're talking about thousands of dollars more per year. It also was actually only originally recommended that the tax be up to $66,000, equivalent in today's dollars of earnings. But over time, it has expanded massively, and the money has been spent every year. So whereas everybody thinks this money's been set aside for me, no, for the past 13 years, every dollar that has gone out of workers' paychecks has gone immediately to pay promised benefits. And that's what happens when you have a system that enables those in charge of it to spend the money in the immediate term and leave the buck to the next generation that's coming along.
Foods has just done explains everything about the future of America's job market and the food in which we consume.
Tyson Foods announced it will be closing the fresh meats plant there. It's currently the largest employer in town.
Over 1,000 Tyson Food employees will lose their jobs in June.
This is absolutely mind-blowing. So last year they laid off 4,200 workers. Then today they lay off another 1,200 workers. Now they've committed to hiring 52,000 asylum seekers.
It already employs about 42,000 immigrants and refugees.
And of the 52,000 asylum seekers, they'll be paying $16.50 per hour wage, as well as benefits, health benefits, dental benefits. On top of that, they'll be putting forward $1.5 billion a year for legal aid services, providing for its new employees temporary housing, on-site childcare, transportation, relocation stipend, and paid time to attend court hearings to adjust to their new homes.
The company is really investing in a lot of services for them to try and convince them, you may make only $16.50 an hour to start, but this is a good job.
Now, this might seem, like a big deal for some people. But what if I were to tell you this is a drop in the bucket compared to what's actually happening? That's going to impact all 330 million Americans, whether you are a retiree, whether you are a tech worker, where you think, okay, this is a factory job, doesn't really impact me so much. No. This whole entire thing is going to be, and it's going to envelope the entire U.S. economy. I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to give you the facts to show you just where we're going as a country. Please hit the like button, hit the like button.
What Tyson Foods just announced should absolutely enrage you. I have two stories. One right here from a small town in Iowa, a news station reporting on a plant closure for Tyson Foods. But what Tyson Foods is going to do next should absolutely flip your mind. I will not be eating Tyson Foods, anything from Tyson Foods. And I will be reporting on other things that Tyson Foods has, because I believe this is the next company to close their doors because of the decision they're making against the American people. Let's start with this story, and then the next story that I've got from a subscriber, an awesome subscriber, Kevin, the Weed Man, is going to blow your mind. This is out of the Des Moines Register. The Tyson plant in Perry, Iowa is closing after 61 years. What we know about its plans. By the way, if any of you awesome subscribers pass by me, feel free to honk your horn. It says Tyson Foods announced Monday, March 11th, that it will permanently close its pork packing plant in Perry, Iowa, amid financial struggles for the pork industry. Here is what we know about Tyson Foods in Perry. Now listen, sounds really good, right? It's about, the pork industry. We've talked about this a year and a half ago when they were closing multiple locations, and I said there's a massive plan to take your job. The Federal Reserve, the federal government wants you unemployed for this next crash. This is not a joke. Wait till you hear what they're about to do. It says how many people will lose their jobs when Tyson closes in Perry. It says as the largest employer in Perry, Tyson employs over 1,276 people. The closure is expected to leave all employees, all of them, without work. Again, they are the largest employer in this town of Iowa. It will decimate this town. Okay? Think of that for a second. Wait till when will the Tyson plant close? Perry Mayor Dick Kavanaugh said Tyson officials told him the plant will shut down June 28th. A Tyson worker also said that this was the time frame given at a meeting Monday, where the Tyson, why is it closing its plants? I said honk your horn. I didn't mean like send off your alarm. Of course, it's during a live stream. Says Tyson didn't say why the Perry plant is closing, but two things stand out about this plan. its age at 61 years for the main facility, and according to industry analysts, its size, which doesn't lend itself to efficiently increasing an increasing second shift. This is how it goes. So what happens? Now I'm going to share with you what's coming next, and this is the part that should enrage you. And I would please ask you to share this video out, because I'm telling you right now, I will not be eating any Tyson products because of this. This story, again, is from Kevin the Weed Man, comes out of Newsweek. It's entitled, Tyson Foods Hiring Migrants Sparks Calls for Boycott. Now, first off, if this enrages you, now right now, our unemployment rate is going up, and that's where the government wants it. They want it high. They want this crash to happen. I know it sounds crazy, because wealthy people know to get wealthier, you do it during hard times. They are going to cause this. And now you have companies in America saying, we're going to hire migrants. People that are here illegally, that are forcing themselves over the border, that are taxing our system while we pay taxes. It's taxing our school system, our healthcare system, and now it's going to be taking away jobs.